Have you ever caught yourself grinning when someone slipped on a banana peel? Or felt a tiny spark of satisfaction when a rival faced a setback? You're not alone, and you're definitely not a bad person. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinatingly dark corners of human psychology, Schadenfreude. That's the irresistible joy we feel at someone else's misfortune. But here's the thing, there's actual science behind why we can't help ourselves. So stick around as we explore what makes us tick when someone else's world falls apart. First, let's define what we're actually talking about. Schadenfreude comes from German, Schaden meaning damage, and Freud meaning joy. It's that specific, almost guilty pleasure you feel when someone else experiences bad luck, embarrassment, or failure. But here's what's crucial, it's not just about being mean-spirited. Neuroscientists have discovered that Schadenfreude lights up the same reward centers in our brains as actual positive experiences. When we witness someone we dislike fail, our brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that floods our system when we succeed ourselves. So, on a neurological level, someone else's pain literally feels like a win for us. But why did we evolve this way? Evolutionary psychologists point to ancient survival mechanisms. In prehistoric times, status within your tribe was everything. It determined access to food, shelter, and reproductive opportunities. When a rival stumbled or failed publicly, that wasn't just entertaining, it was genuinely advantageous for your position. By experiencing joy at their downfall, your ancestors reinforced the memory that competition was valuable and worth paying attention to. Fast forward to today, and we're still wired with those ancient survival instincts, even though we're sitting safely on couches watching YouTube instead of fighting over hunting grounds. Our brains haven't caught up to the modern world. Now here's where it gets interesting. Schadenfreude isn't random. Research shows it's heavily dependent on social distance and perceived threat. A 2011 study at the Max Planck Institute found that people experienced the strongest Schadenfreude response when the person failing was 1. Someone they disliked, 2. Someone they viewed as a rival, and 3. Someone they perceived as higher status. Essentially, Schadenfreude is proportional to envy. The more threatened we feel by someone's success, the more satisfying their failure becomes. This is why celebrities' public meltdowns get millions of views, and why gossip about high-powered executives facing scandals spreads like wildfire. We experience Schadenfreude most intensely toward people we secretly wish we could be like. But wait, there's an important nuance here. Not everyone experiences Schadenfreude equally, and research has identified specific personality factors that make some people far more prone to it. People scoring high in narcissism, psychopathy, and sadism show dramatically elevated Schadenfreude responses. But here's the surprising part, people with higher emotional empathy can actually experience Schadenfreude too, just through a different psychological mechanism. They might feel it when they believe someone deserves their punishment, when someone behaves immorally or unfairly. So Schadenfreude isn't always a sign of a dark personality. Sometimes it's your moral compass working overtime, experiencing satisfaction that justice has been served. Let's talk about the context where Schadenfreude peaks. One fascinating finding from research is that we experience it most intensely when we witness failure in real time, especially when there's an audience. Remember that banana peel slip? If someone falls alone in a forest, there's no Schadenfreude, there's usually just concern. But add an audience, add a public element, and suddenly it's hilarious. This is because public failure directly impacts social standing in a way private failure never does. Our brains recognize this as a status shift, and if that person was previously higher status than us, that failure becomes deeply satisfying. This is why comedy works. It's essentially structured Schadenfreude where we get to safely experience others' embarrassment and pain. Now, here's something that might make you uncomfortable. There's a connection between Schadenfreude and moral judgment. When we witness someone facing consequences for harmful behavior, experiencing Schadenfreude actually serves an important social function. It reinforces group norms and deters others from breaking them. Studies show that when people see a morally bad actor face punishment, the Schadenfreude they feel motivates them to avoid similar behavior. It's like a social surveillance mechanism built into our emotions. But, and this is crucial, the system only works when the punishment is proportional and the person actually deserved it. When we're experiencing Schadenfreude at random misfortune or at disproportionate consequences, that's when it becomes socially destructive. So what does the science say about controlling Schadenfreude, assuming we even want to? This is where it gets practical. One of the most effective techniques is called perspective taking, literally imagining yourself in the other person's shoes. When researchers asked people to imagine how someone felt after failing, their Schadenfreude response decreased significantly. Another powerful technique is rehumanizing, reminding yourself that the person experiencing misfortune is a full human with hopes, fears, and worth beyond this single moment. Interestingly, people who regularly practice mindfulness and compassion meditation show lower baseline Schadenfreude responses. They're literally rewiring their brains to feel less joy at others' pain. And yes, that's possible. Neuroplasticity means we can train ourselves out of Schadenfreude. Let's end with a cultural perspective. Schadenfreude is not equally prevalent across all cultures. Research comparing Schadenfreude responses across different societies found that individualistic cultures, places that emphasize personal success and competition, show significantly higher Schadenfreude than collectivist cultures that emphasize group harmony. Americans, Germans, and Scandinavians showed markedly higher Schadenfreude than participants from East Asian cultures. This suggests that while Schadenfreude is a universal human capacity, culture shapes how much we express it and how acceptable we find it. In some societies, openly enjoying someone else's misfortune is seen as deeply shameful. In others, it's casual entertainment. So part of managing Schadenfreude isn't just individual psychology, it's also recognizing what your culture teaches you about the value of that emotion. So there you have it. Schadenfreude is wired into our brains from thousands of years of evolution, amplified by rivalry and envy, and shaped by our culture and personal choices. The fact that you feel it doesn't make you a monster, it makes you human. But recognizing it, understanding it, and choosing compassion over judgment when possible, that's what makes you better than your base instincts. Now I'm curious, what was the most recent case of Schadenfreude you experienced? Drop it in the comments below, no judgment here. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe so you never miss a video like this one.